I was asked a number of years ago by one of my mentors to write an article about my journey from being a family business executive to being a family business advisor. He asked me to write out what had I learned along that journey. A cathartic exercise in a way, looking at my life, what are all the mistakes we made as a family, what can you learn from them? And gradually as I progressed in my writing, I moved from what are all the mistakes we've made to what are some of the things we did right, and then what are some things that other families have done well that we can borrow from. So essentially my book has three parts: the mistakes we made as a family, what you can learn from them, and other families and the good things they're doing. So it was really just an autobiographical attempt to reflect on family business.
People can see themselves far more easily in a story than they can when they open a textbook. They go through different lists or memorize tables, things related to business. But instead, when they read David's stories, they create an image.
I love his book because it reads like a novel and it educates like a textbook.
Again, not textbook, it's real life experience that he's prepared to share. And he actually does a very good job what an individual may be going through, then actually bringing a real life story to what that individual may be experiencing.
I'm finding that having written a book has enabled me to put down in writing what I believe families ought to be thinking about, and in fact what they should be doing, has accelerated the work that I do with families.
I don't think I can overstate this enough. David's books are unique in his transparency and in his ability to tell a story, to relate those stories to important affairs in business as well as important things in life. In the books that I've worked on, I think that is the main difference. David's willingness to be open and to reveal many of the situations that have happened to him in his life, and most authors are not willing to do that.
What I love about it too is how vulnerable he is in what he writes. He really is honest about the struggles of his family and quite transparent about what that was like for him and for other members of his family. So that took real courage, I think, to write that.
I hope that my book has two major impacts. The first is I want it to serve as a warning. I want people to say, you too can have the mess that we had if you keep doing what you're doing. And I want to encourage people to not do some of the things that they might be tempted to do. On the other hand, I'm hoping it will give them some good ideas about what can be done. But when I finished writing my book, I went back over and said, what are the 25 things that I think families ought to do? And so there's 25 major suggestions I have in terms of what I think families should be doing in order to have the greatest chance of having a successful transition from one generation to the next.